Booth Talk. My name's Brennan.
Oh no.
Justin Alexander.
So, Justin, we were just talking about you're in a Detroit-based version of Green Day on Broadway. What can you tell us about that?
All right. So I know we have a half hour. So the nutshelled version? Is that what we
Let's
want?
hear as
Yeah,
much-
yeah, let's hear
Let's
that.
hear the nutshell
Okay,
version.
so
to start.
when I was a baby, I've always had a no. So okay, starting from how I got the opportunity.
Yeah.
I play a place downtown Detroit called Tin Roof. I've been playing there the last 2.5, 3 years. And before they were open, I played there for like a year straight outside. They were torturous during the summer, just like 100-degree gigs and stuff. But I was like, no, I really want to solidify my spot here. And so this past year, we were getting some headlining shows. And one of the nights that I performed, a friend of mine now, David Martin, he saw me at the Tin Roof, and
Yeah.
I was like, I'd done like some Green Day songs or whatever, and he was like, "Hey man, I've worked with Green Day, I've worked with Simple Plan, I've worked with some big acts. I would love to show you the studio and maybe talk to you about doing some stuff in the future."
Mm-hmm.
So 2 weeks later, it was like my birthday time or whatever. It was in August. I headed to Birmingham to meet up with him. So I'm like thinking about the story as I go. After this first time, I've like looked back
I'm
on
listening.
it.
Though.
Yeah.
I'm staying along.
So I go to the spot. We talk for a while. I'm now in a power trio with him
Okay.
on drums. He's a drummer.
Okay.
But he is a stage producer and manager for tours that Green Day did. He does festivals and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want to go into too much detail about who's on the production side of things,
Yeah.
but he knows somebody who does Broadway musicals in Detroit and in the area and in Birmingham and in all kinds of places and whatnot. Regional
Yeah.
versions of this stuff. And he's like, yeah, so I know somebody who's been wanting to do the American Idiot Broadway musical, literally. And the funny thing is, guys, is that he asks me about this. He's like, have you ever heard of the American Idiot Broadway musical that Green Day does? Now, 10 years ago, when the Broadway musical first came out, this is a real story. At the Detroit Opera House,
Mm-hmm.
I was asked through another agent / promoter or whatever to play as Green Day. It was my brother, Joey Fava, who's the drummer of Kaleido, and me. We did a power trio at the Detroit Opera House. So when the people walked out of the Detroit Opera House when they were seeing the official version of Green Day American Idiot,
Yeah.
the Broadway musical, they would see us on the way out, and all the kids would think we were Green Day and lose their shit. It was hilarious, and they did. It was funny as hell. I met the cast through doing that. We did it 3 days in a row. It was like
Yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
weekends here. And I met the whole cast of the official version. They're like, we're scouting you. Go to California. Try out. They're doing auditions in 2 months. And I was already scheduled to move out to California 3 months later. So I had money saved up. So I'm like, all right, just do it. You're
Yeah.
going to go out there. You're going to get this spot. They're scouting you. So I go out there. Bless you. So I go out there. And I make it all the way to the last 10 people in Burbank, California,
Okay.
out of like, I don't know, 2,000 or 3,000 would be my guess
Damn,
of people.
that's crazy.
It was crazy. And here's the thing. I was like, this is kind of like my style of music. I was like, oh, this is going to work out great.
Yeah.
So I get to the end, and I got it. Dude, I feel so bad. But there was this theater kind of artsy fartsy chick who probably did 8 years of school. And, I have no Broadway musical experience whatsoever. I'm a performer. I've been doing it for years. And she's like, sorry, you're just not what we're looking for. And I was like, you're so full of shit. How could you say that? But so I'm in Burbank.
Liar.
I'm in Burbank. I can barely afford a cheeseburger, because they're like $20 there
jeez.
downtown.
For real?
Oh, dude, I was in. Well, no, the first audition was in Burbank. The second one was in West Hollywood. But I was like in a hotel.
Were you living down there at the time?
No. So I had to come home and make enough money to move back out there 2 weeks later because I spent all my
Okay.
money I'd saved up for to move out there on the flight because it was an immediate process. So I
Yeah.
had to get a flight like 2 weeks later. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and then eating and then lodging, none of this was paid for. So, and the hotel down there was, and I didn't have a car. I didn't have a license at the time. I didn't get my license until I was 26.
Oh,
Are
wow.
you for real?
I swear to God. I moved out to California without a license and lived out there.
Why wait so
taxiing.
wait
Yeah.
so long on the license?
I just in a lot of ways I was like scared of it because I had it put in my head by a family. That it's like
fear of driving.
The fear of driving,
Yeah.
like, you know. And so I just never got it. That and like I hadn't found it. I had done pretty well without it.
Fair,
Right.
yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
didn't-
like,
all right.
good.
Well, let's continue. You were. She told you that you weren't what they were looking for, and obviously
Yeah.
that wasn't true. But
Well, so I guess the irony is that all these years later, I have someone who scouts me, and you know, I did audition twice.
yeah,
So it wasn't just like, oh, we like your look and we seen you perform. I
Yeah,
I
and you-
actually auditioned songs.
and
from
you
the
made
album.
it to the top
For real?
10.
Yeah, well, yeah. And then
Yeah.
so now we're moving forward with it. But what the cool part is a friend of mine, David, is gonna be producing a lot of it. You know, on the back, on like the stage props and all of this stuff. That's kind of like his thing is stage production.
Yeah.
So we're looking to do some cool shit with it that may not have been done in the first one.
Wow,
that'd be-
that's
So
crazy.
That'd be
Yeah.
exciting.
A lot there might even be more guitar like and singing for me up front on a lot of the stuff.
That'd
just
be cool.
because, you know, why not work with what you got, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
But so that's pretty much that in a nutshell.
So now,
So,
when can we expect to see this, or when you guys gonna start touring?
I would love to tell you the date on when we can expect to do this because I'm antsy trying to just get it done and do it, you know. And also, you know, I'm gonna be getting a little bit of acting and performance experience through
Okay.
the people that are a part of this, so that's good.
Have
Definitely.
you ever like acted before?
Like in our music video that I've done with Brennan here, like a
Okay.
little bit.
I've always seen you though. I thought you could always do acting. Though I could see you doing.
So it's always been on the list of
I-
things to do because I think as a performer,
Yeah.
that's kind of like part of it.
You're
I
a
mean,
natural
Yeah.
performer.
Yeah.
How long have you been performing? When did you start performing? I know you and your
So,
whole family have been
just
performing.
to answer the question about when we can expect it,
Yeah.
we're hoping springtime at the latest we'll start at least doing rehearsals.
Okay, perfect.
Just because, you know, it's got to be, you know, for theater, it's all these seats connected right next to each other.
Yeah.
So it's not like you can have people standing at 6 feet apart. Well,
Sure,
I mean,
you gotta
can
wait
you can
till-
space out the seats, but then it's like you have overhead.
Yeah, you want to fill it up.
Yeah.
And you don't want to, and you want everyone to be able to watch it comfortably and safely,
Right.
and
You don't want to get done with the performance and hear like 3 claps.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, like, or you might want to hear the one single
Slow clap?
Slow clap.
Yeah.
That would also, but 3 claps would be like,
Right.
you know.
I don't think that this is something that I'm gonna do Broadway. Like I don't think I'm gonna do Broadway
long term.
long term.
But it's nice to get the experience though, and to try it out.
That and I think there couldn't be a more perfect Broadway musical to do for the sound of music that I record and perform.
Yeah, I will say though, you have quite the range. I know you've done a lot of covers, and I think you have.
Oh,
I mean, there have been
thanks,
some
man.
songs I think that you perform that I like better than the originals.
Thanks, man.
You know, so
Right
I
on.
definitely think you have quite the range when it comes to music. You know, from rock to country, to punk. So I definitely,
Thanks, buddy.
yeah, I definitely think you could do it. You know,
Hell yeah.
when did you start performing? I know, like I said, I know your family's all been performing for a few years, not a few years, for a long
Dude,
time together.
So my dad started teaching me the drums when I was 8-ish. That's when I started taking it seriously. He always had his kit, and I was like 3 going,
Yeah.
playing with drum machines and fucking up all of his gear, you know.
Yeah.
And then about 13, I started playing guitar. My brother had already been playing guitar for a few years prior to that. He started young, too. My dad got him his first guitar. I couldn't remember when, but about 13, because what happened was you'd have band practice at the drummer's house because the parents of the drummer were already used to it being so
They were-
loud
yeah, they're the
from
coolest
the
one,
drums
yeah.
that they're like, okay, just have them bring the shit
What's
here.
a couple more instruments? At
Right,
least
that's
now we get a
nothing.
song.
But what would happen was, you know, at like 10 p.m. or 9 p.m., they'd be like, "All right, cut it," and then I'd have all the guitars in the house still sitting there. So I'd be like, "Well, I still want to jam." So
Yeah.
that's how about 13, I started picking up the guitars at my and just playing it
Yeah.
in bed and stuff. And then I was like, "Oh shit, I like this." A couple years later, I had gotten pretty good, and then about 15, 16, I started writing my own songs all the way through. I had an album written at 17, got signed to my first label at 18 for playing all the instruments on the album. And then there's a whole other story about that we don't even want to go into right now. Let's just... Well, I had signed to a management and publishing So it was a management deal and a publishing deal.
Okay.
And I was just young, made a lot of mistakes. The people that I worked with made even more mistakes.
What would you tell somebody like at that age right now, you know, just getting into the business, like how you were just getting into business? What would you tell them? You know what I'm saying? What's something that you
To
could
avoid
say
those mistakes.
Yeah, to avoid those mistakes.
I always have liked, this is what I would tell them. It's easy when you're young to wear your heart on your sleeve.
Okay.
And because you don't have as many experiences being fucked over yet.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That just happens with age.
Yes.
You know, just getting
For
shit
everybody,
on.
no matter what you,
When it
no
comes
matter
to
what you
time.
go through, you know what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
will get, you know, bamboozled.
Exactly.
You feel me?
Uh-huh.
Because
And
everybody trying to make more money.
Don't sign anything unless you have to. And if you have to, make sure either your parents or an attorney, a respected attorney, looks over the contract.
Right.
Because I made the decision where I was like, oh, this is meant to happen. I'm going to be famous.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so that didn't happen. And now I'm 32 trying to do it all again. Yeah.
But there ain't no. I mean, you doing it.
That's
You feel
what's
what I'm
up.
saying? And
You
that's
know,
something
but
that-
I mean, like the craziest thing, bro, is like when you turn 30, it kind of the game changes a little bit. The window
Yeah.
of opportunity starts to look a little narrower.
Thinner.
Yeah. So exactly. So. I mean, even a year ago, I had made a post like, listen, I think I'm going back to school soon. And you can still do your dreams and go to school.
Right.
But I'm also a
100%.
firm believer of like, plan A is plan A for a reason.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like you set plan B up for the safety net, you might
Yeah.
just fall
Right.
back.
Will
on it.
Smith
But
said
even-
plan B
even
distracts from
check it-
plan A.
Right, but even
Exactly.
check
Yeah.
this out though. How many of even like Will Smith, you know what I'm saying, are great people? You know, how many of them continue to do one thing their whole life?
Right.
True.
You feel what
They
I'm saying?
diversify.
So right, exactly, and
That's
that's
exactly
that
right.
as a human being, you're a business yourself. You know what
Mhm.
I'm saying? So if you do feel like you want to go to school, but that does not mean take your foot off the gas of this because you're
Right.
making headway on it. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But do everything you want to, bro. You
That's
know?
kind of why I'm doing the Broadway music thing, because I've never done it. It'll get me out of my comfort zone. I know
Mhm.
I'm going to be a better performer and singer by the end of it, and
Yeah,
actor,
definitely.
and actor, just
Definitely.
performer in
You're
general.
learning.
Oh
You're
hell yeah,
learning.
100%.
Uh-huh.
So at the very least, even
Yeah.
if I bomb miserably, it's going to be the best mistake I feel like I've made in a long time.
But you know, at your age right now,
Yeah.
you're able to understand that even in failure or even in, you know, not extreme success, there is some
Level of
success in
success,
growth.
right.
You feel what I'm saying? Because
Yep.
growth is just the true success we all want.
Yep.
You know, just to be a better person.
And 32 is
Right.
still very young.
Right. No, you young as hell.
It's
Well,
still
I don't-
very. I know.
I don't
no,
know
I
that
definitely.
very is
I
a word I would use
I
in
definitely-
that, but
because I know if I'm at this age, like, I know I need to work out in order
right.
to
Oh
not get
yeah.
the-
Oh yeah.
but
No, I did
that-
insanity before I
it's-
came here. You got to. I start to creak and
right,
shit if
yeah,
I don't.
that's what
I'm
I'm
like,
saying. You start to get the aches and pains, and you start realizing, like, damn, you know, I actually got to take care of my body.
I just have the
because
can of oil
100%.
like the Tin
This
Man.
is not
Yo,
about
dude,
to
if
last.
I went out, I played like 5 gigs like 2 weeks ago. It's like the first time I've done 5 gigs in
That's
a row.
crazy.
Bro, I've done, and they're all 3 or 4 hours long.
Woo! Wait,
Singing,
time out. Wait,
singing
wait,
3 to
hold
4
on.
hours a night, 5 nights a week, and on the days I had off, I was still doing band rehearsal and going out to the bar because they wanted to hang out and party. Because none of us have any reason not to right now in life, because we're all waiting on the COVID. You know what I mean, bro?
But that's I don't think people really understand how much energy it goes into to like perform.
Oh.
Like literally.
Yeah.
And then even when you don't,
It's like
feel
Jedi
like
power,
it,
dude. It's
but-
like spiritual energy.
Right. But even if you don't feel like it, once you start to receive that energy, like once you get up there,
Mm-hmm.
it's like you'll have like a burst of energy, and at the end of it, you just tired as hell.
And
again.
also
Like,
performing as much as
Right.
you've been, and how long you've been doing it. I mean, if you haven't already mastered it, you're going to be such a master of the performance.
I
you
mean,
know,
I'm
of
already
performing.
noticing that if I don't do it a certain way, if I don't treat my body properly,
Mhm.
my voice will actually go lower.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have
Uh-huh.
to do a specific. I mean, when I'm on my days off, I don't even speak typically.
You
Yeah.
have to.
This
You
is the
have
most
to.
I've talked on a
right.
day off.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no,
well,
but
they,
you
they
have
say
to.
a lot of
you know?
Uh-huh.
a lot of
And
those
even more,
singers
why
they
waste
have
your
to treat,
words
you know,
anyways. You feel what I'm
you have
saying?
to treat your voice like it's a muscle. You have to treat your cord, the
Right.
vocal cords, and everything
is.
with with
is.
respect and
I
care.
had actual serious issues about 4 years ago with it. I had to go to a voice pathologist and the ENT and everything. And he even told me, like, you have the typical amount of scarring that rock singers get from the way you sing. And then I learned all kinds of breathing techniques.
Yeah.
And then he hit me with the steroidal anti-inflammatory whatever for my throat, which helped out a lot. But really, it was drinking. It was like, don't drink whiskey anymore. Don't drink beer anymore on your gigs. And so now when I perform, I mean, like probably 7 times out of 10, I won't drink. And if I do, it'll be the last gig of the weekend or the last 2 gigs of the weekend.
Yourself.
Well, just because I'm gonna have 3 days of rest after that.
Yeah.
And then on the days, that's a funny thing. I tell people, well, I only drink at work
But
because
but you know what you've done though.
it's the
You
truth.
know- no, because that is the truth. And you know what's good about that is because you went through a point of letting your environment judge what you did. You feel what I'm saying? That's why you would drink every night.
Right.
But now you've gotten to the point where you're just judging what you want to do, no matter what the environment is. And that's a
Yeah.
great,
That-
I think for the younger people is like,
Oh,
really,
yeah.
they
Well,
need to know that type of
that,
stuff.
and I was always looking for means to party. Instead of going to the gig and going, all right, you really should focus on how being amazing tonight.
Yeah.
Because
Yes.
I can get 4 or 5 songs in and get drunk on the music.
Yeah.
And be
Easily.
like- and be like,
Easily.
oh wow, I'm in that flow state now.
That's what I said. That
Flow.
adrenaline rush. You
Yeah.
feel what I'm saying when you're performing.
And you don't get it if you're drinking. And a lot of times you'll think you sound better than you really do because then you'll see the video later and you're like, huh. It's like that scene in
Yes.
Family Guy where it's like,
Right.
you know.
100%. So how do you practice? Because I know one thing, even when I perform, one thing that I know, like if I had to perform multiple nights in a row like you do, that would be insane because I know that vocal projection. You know what I'm saying? So then you're especially with you're singing and you're hitting the notes, but you're not also damaging yourself to not be able to sing the next day. You feel what I'm saying? How did you learn how to do that type of stuff? You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, I have about 300 songs I have in my list I can choose from. I don't do that many a night. Usually it turns out to be like 40 a
That's
night.
a lot of songs, bro. Or are like you chopping them up? You just doing them straight, like back in there.
But here's the thing, that they're not all full, super high, hard to hit note songs.
Okay.
So like I'll start off with the lower stuff
Okay.
at the beginning of the night, and then I'll ease into it. And then usually I'll do a long first set because at some point you're going to catch that super hot warm-up.
Yeah.
But then if you do a super long set too, like an hour and a half straight, I do an hour and a half straight, then I'll take like a half hour off, and then my next set will only be a half hour or 45 minutes, and I'll only have 2 of them.
Oh,
so
okay.
the work becomes a little bit easier and gradually downhill from there.
So you're pacing yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like a
exactly.
marathon.
It's a marathon
Yeah.
completely, and it sucks because everyone wants to hear your big songs all night long.
Right.
Yeah.
And they don't want to see a singer go up there and do like, okay, it's good, but also like, can we hear Chris Cornell?
So
Or can we hear Audio Slave or something? I'm like, yeah, once.
so do
No more singing.
do you like play with a do you have different band members when no matter like depending on wherever you go, or do you have a set band that plays with you, or do you just do your stuff all like
At 32 years old, I have a roster of musicians I can call upon if I need them.
Okay.
My brother plays guitar. We do that duo. My
Okay.
mom is an amazing singer, so we do Mumford and Sons as our trio.
Yo, that's
Legit.
bro. You have your family involved in your music
Yeah.
too.
Oh, dude.
That is
they're
amazing.
very involved. Yeah, they're all.
That
yeah.
is amazing, bro. I know that brings
In
you
a
guys
lot- in-
together.
in a very, very Partridge Family, very kind of cheeky way. Music brought us a lot closer together as a family.
That's
Because
beautiful, bro.
it's like Thanksgiving, you have to see them.
Yeah.
Well, every freaking weekend I gotta see them. So we're like, all right, we might as well learn to be friends while we're at it too. But no, I love my parents. I love my family.
That's
So,
amazing, bro.
yeah.
That's amazing. I'm you blessed for that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying?
100%.
That's real solid.
I'm gonna look back when I'm like, well, we'll see how long I make it. But when I'm old one day,
Yes, you gonna
and just those are the memories. You know what I mean? All the other cool shit that's going on is like icing.
right, exactly.
You know, like it's introspective stuff that matters the most. It's
Right.
family. It's those people that have supported you from the beginning, taking care of them. It's just
And enjoying
and
yourself
enjoying yourself and
the way you want to enjoy life. You
how
feel what
many
I'm
people
saying?
say like, if I died tomorrow, I'd want to know I was, living it up to the fullest. And
Right.
then they'll go out and like get bombed at the bar.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, I would rather like, I always like to like think like, if I, whether or not there's life after death, I always like to think of it like, if there was, I could look back on who I was the night before I died, I'd want to be happy with what I was doing.
Exactly. I would want to be happy with who I am.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Right.
And that's why, like, it's good that you're doing everything you're doing, and you're even happy with it, because that's one thing I can say since I've met you. You are enjoying what's happening right now to you.
I am. It's such a difficult and depressing time right now, and because of the state of the world with COVID.
Yeah.
You're right.
And it sucks because do you ever like note, like, you, especially on social media, there's such negativity through whether it be everywhere. And I'm trying to stay positive, and there's like two options. You can either like succumb to the negativity and be negative with everyone else and feel like shit and feel like crap, or you can control the one thing you have actual control over, and that's your attitude and your mental state. And like, I notice sometimes that I'm like gleamingly positive, and it's
You
like
have
you
to
can
be.
tell people are like, God, this fucking annoying guy.
Not today,
But it's
not this year.
It's like you have two options, and
Right.
I know which one I take, and that's the latter.
But
So,
you have to be, because you cannot think that you can, as an energy force, send out negative energy and receive positive energy. You feel what I'm saying? It's just not gonna happen, bro.
Right. It will not be reciprocated.
No, it won't. It's just
Right.
gonna breed more negativity. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
And it looks like you're breeding positivity because you got what? You got the show coming. I mean,
The show. There's a movie in the works right now. I don't want to go into too much detail about that, but I was offered strangely, possibly the lead role in a horror film in Detroit called Midnight. in
That's
Detroit.
crazy. Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
we'll see how that goes. But right now, the main focus is the Broadway musical. I want to, for that particular thing, I want to absolutely knock it out of the fucking park.
You will. If that's what you want to do, and
Yeah,
you
that's
put
how
in the
you-
work to
I
make
want,
that happen,
I want
you
it
will.
because those things get picked up, even though it's a regional version. I mean,
Definitely.
like, we're supposed to start it in Birmingham. It's 750 something seats in that place. I want to make sure we are blowing that thing out, and I just want to make sure, as a performer, it will be the ultimate performance I've ever given for as many nights as we do it in a row, because I also plan, this is some insider information.
Okay.
I also plan to release some very important new music, original music, at those events.
Nice.
Okay.
With new videos and new management and new investors. We'll see.
Yeah, that's
That'll
solid,
be
bro.
exciting. Especially if you're going to bring
Well,
that type of energy to it, you're
it's
definitely going to knock it out of the
catalyst.
park.
I'm trying to kind of make synergies out of everything, and I don't know. It's again, I never would have cared or thought of this when I was 21.
Right.
I would have been like, oh, someone else has got this. But it's really up to you. You have so much more control over the way your success is in life than you even know.
That's why I feel like now for musicians, like, I know that it's kind of rough right now for musicians because,
it's rough.
I mean, even in the era we're in now, like, you get paid per stream, and it's harder to get the number of streams you need to get that used to be the exact same amount for just an album. You feel what I'm saying?
Yep.
For just the album buy. You feel me? Like,
Right.
you got to get thousands for
Right.
just one album buy.
Right.
You feel
and
what
then,
I'm saying?
And then you have people who will buy tons of bot plays just to
Right.
get to that level. And then it just becomes a matter of like who can afford the most plays or who can get the most promotion, which most of the time costs money too.
Exactly.
So that's when it's like almost it's almost like Spotify took our playing field that was level and then made it like all of a sudden totally
Well, we need to make money.
capitalist greed again, because
Right.
now Katy Perry can get that $1 million into her
They're like, wait a
Right.
second, we can make money off
plays
this.
and stuff. And nothing against Katy Perry.
Right.
She
No.
got lucky.
And
You know?
but I'm not even about anybody. You do your own thing. But even more, it makes it so, but also it makes it so you almost, like nowadays with the internet, you really don't need a label or nothing. You
No,
literally
you don't.
can
You
produce
re-
everything
yeah.
yourself.
And great songs do
And-
shine.
Right, and you can get it out there if you know, get it to where it needs to be, whether you need to pay the money to get it put in that spot, or you know what I'm
Right.
saying, you get seen off of just
I
going
think you
viral.
can do it a lot with a lot less money. Like,
Mhm.
you know, labels used to be like every overnight success was like $2 or $3 million into these big celebrities.
Yeah.
And that means like buying your way onto a tour, getting that promotion, whether it be radio or video or whatever, TV or
Right.
social media. So there was this whole marketing concept that, you know, this. So, but I think now with much less money, but still a little bit, you can really make some big bangs.
Right, and
happen.
even more, it's easy to like I know some people use like DistroKid. You feel what I'm saying? It's easy
Yeah.
to be able to release it.
Yeah.
And be able
I was
to
thinking
see how
about
many.
changing to DistroKid. I'm on CD Baby. I
You
go
on
through
CD
them.
Baby?
Yeah, but everything that I do for like the publishing and everything and the extra stuff I like to get is like $40.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for like a song.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know. So I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna fucking go DistroKid, I think, and pay $10 a year.
Yeah, it's simple.
And then, because at the end of the day, I'm not seeing the return on anything else from that, anyways. So.
Right.
Yeah.
But
No,
from them at least.
Right, exactly. But so you're gonna release those songs. You got anything else? You know what I'm saying?
Well, so I'm in a power trio called Willits Records right now, and that
Okay.
is with my friend David Martin,
Mhm.
the guy who I was telling you about, who does the stage production. He's on drums, and then on bass is another friend of mine, Chris Colin, who is the lacrosse coach at University of Detroit Mercy.
Seriously?
Yeah, and they're both great guys, and they're both team players. And I'm actually, after this tonight, heading to practice. And then, you know, usually we end up just going down into Birmingham and getting some food or something and hanging out there.
Yeah, that's solid.
But yeah, but they're both great guys. We're planning, you know, this is kind of like the make money kind of thing, because, you know, as a musician, you gotta make money, gotta pay for the roof over your head, right? So David, whether it be the festivals or whether it be you know, just like gigs around, could be national, could be down the street. We're all just trying to make some cool music, and it's kind of a pop punk thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
You guys doing covers, or you got your own?
So
your own stuff?
we are doing covers, and we're also doing a few of my originals when they're requested.
Okay.
But we noticed that there's not really a niche band for like pop punk stuff around here. Like St. Andrews Hall did like emo night, and that was kind of cool. But like it was a DJ,
Right.
so we're like
Yeah.
we're kind of like this niche like pop punk trio, and
Okay.
we do it's just like Blink-182 and Green Day and Jimmy Eat World and stuff like that. But I
That's
mean,
solid.
dude, well, you know, because there's so many people who will pay for that kind of
That's popular music around here.
yeah.
It's, you know,
And,
it's
and,
popular
in
music
like
anywhere.
China, you know what I mean?
For real.
For real, it's like pop punk haven out there, dude.
Really, in China?
Seriously?
Oh yeah, China and Japan and
Interesting.
I know like Australia's big on it.
It's interesting. I mean, I guess I'm not surprised,
Yeah.
but like that's, I don't know. I just never would have thought. That's not something I would have thought of.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Yeah,
For
that
real?
makes sense, right?
That makes a little sense. I
I
guess
guess
that
it
makes
That makes a lot of sense.
that makes
Yeah.
a lot of sense.
Right.
Hasselhoff sounds like somewhat German,
Yeah.
but let me ask you this: if you could tour for anybody or open for anybody, who would that be?
Ooh.
We can even do. They don't have to be alive, just of all time. If you
Ooh.
wanted to, expand even more.
Uno momento. One moment.
Oh.
Uh,
I'm like, what?
He's like, me?
Yeah.
You want to open for me?
Hey,
I was
I
like,
was
that's what's
about
up,
to
bro.
be like, yes.
Yep.
We can make
That's
this.
what.
You
Yeah.
know,
We can make this
Right.
happen.
We can make this happen right here today.
I'm gonna. I've surprised you.
Dude, you know, probably if I had to think of it, because I don't feel like Billy Joe and I are gonna get along. Probably, I think we're gonna be like, nah.
Wait, Billy Joe or Billy Joel?
Billy Joe of Green Day. Like,
Okay.
I think we're gonna be like, oh hey, how are you? I'd be like, yeah, you kind of sound like me. I'll be like, yeah, but better. You know what I mean? No, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's gonna
I could
be
see
like,
there
gotta feel like
I
that,
could see
though.
there being tension with that
you
conversation.
gotta feel like that.
yeah,
no matter
hell
what.
yeah. Like, you're gonna have a run for your money, bud. But no, probably, man. How about a tour?
Okay.
How about a tour?
Yeah, all right, yeah, a tour. So
Like probably like Foo Fighters, Weezer,
I used to love the Foo Fighters when I was a kid.
and me, and with Muse too, maybe. Those are
Okay.
all great acts, man. They're all huge acts too. There's a lot of punk bands I would play with that I intend to.
What performance or whose performance would you say inspires your performance, or who would you say you look up to as a performer?
So there's two guys that most people probably would never guess, but Brian Setzer of the Stray Cats. He's a rockabilly guy, guitar player, and then a band called The Living End from Australia. The guitar player's name is Chris Chaney, and then Dave Grohl.
What would you be doing if it wasn't music, you think? What would your other passion be if it wasn't?
So here's my question: anything music, like if music isn't in, because I'm a music producer.
Let's just say
Nothing. If you let's say
nothing music.
Nothing
yeah,
music.
Let's say you woke up and it was a totally different life, and music just the
always
thing that got
wanted
you
to
into
be a
music didn't happen.
pilot.
You said a
pilot,
pilot?
okay.
Pilot.
Okay.
Damn,
Yeah.
where'd that come from?
Well, it runs in kind of in my blood. Well, my uncle Frank is a pilot,
Okay.
but also
What does he fly?
and then my grandpa for World War II.
Okay.
Okay.
He worked on the planes. I think it was. I don't want to screw this up. I don't know if it's P-51s, but anyways, it was the planes at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he was a mechanic on the airplanes, and then I've just always been fascinated, even when I was a kid, in airplanes. So I
That's
think it was
cool.
that and astronaut and all that stuff. Did you know? I looked into that recently. I was like, I want to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
I'm 32. Let's see if I can do it. And then I was like, whoa, there's a lot less you need to do to become an astronaut than you might think.
Really?
For real, what is it?
Let's hear about it.
You have to. It's good to have your pilot's license or flight training.
Yeah.
That's a big one. But then you just have to have a master's in some form of what's that shit? I forget the name of the. It's
some type of
the
science.
mechanics, science.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a name for it though. It's like MSD or something. Some of the people are gonna be like, "You're an idiot," but I am an idiot. But I just know music. So, but you have to have your degree in something that's required for the task of being an astronaut, because not everyone has the same job.
Yeah.
Not everyone has
Right.
the same job. So obviously you're going to have to do exceptionally well.
True. Like on was it called The Martian with Matt Damon, where he was a botanist?
Yeah. Well, not
You
only
know?
that, but now too, there's going to be a lot more need for those people. It's it's like being a pilot. There's always going to be a need for you. There's going to be people that need to go where they need to go.
Right.
And
So you're trying to get on the Starship, Elon Musk Starship?
dude, I will tell you right now, if he was like Justin, you're on the second trip to Mars, you can't come back, and it was 20 years from now. And I
20 years from now?
20 years from now.
Okay.
And he said,
Neat.
but I'll give you your own little project studio space on the rocket there, so you can make music in this little corner with a guitar and a mic. And I could be the first person ever in space to make an album
Ooh. Okay.
and go down in history for being the first person to release original music like that in space.
That'd be cool.
And on Mars. And going to Mars.
Going to Mars.
I'm like, it's all about me.
You could be the number
No.
one performer on Mars by default.
No.
Yeah, by default.
I'm
so getting laid on Mars. For sure. For sure. I'm getting laid on Mars.
Oh, I'm sorry. You want to hear music? You got to come to me, baby.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Okay. I was just
Yeah.
Okay.
So that took a weird turn. But yeah. Yeah.
All
I'd
right.
be a-
I can dig that.
I'd be a Marsian.
What genre of music would people be surprised to hear influence you the most?
Lots of punk rock bands that you guys might not know.
Yeah.
But
I
I
don't know that
mean,
many punk rock bands.
That's okay. The River City Rebels, the New York Dolls, Cockspur, the Bouncing Souls, Dropkick Murphys, the Misfits, street punk stuff, the Virus, the Unseen. Again, the Living End. They were a great pop punk rock style band that toured with Green Day years ago, from Australia. Iggy Pop. Even Metallica you can throw in there because I've always been a fan of them. Suicidal Tendencies.
You're tagging all
Just
these
going-
people. in
Just
this.
going down the line. Less Than Jake.
Hey, because while this is happening, you just gotta have it coming down the screen. Yeah, it's just all the
Right.
people he's naming.
Yeah. So a lot of punk rock bands.
Let me ask you this: of all the Disney movies, which one has the best soundtrack?
Disney movies?
Yes.
Solid question, bro.
So I've never thought about this, and I'm
people
probably gonna
about
be
to
like,
really-
Aladdin, and then later be like, Lion King, you idiot.
You could say Aladdin. I'd say if I want to give you my answer. My
I can
one's
show you
Aladdin
the
and
world.
Hercules. Those are my top two.
Yeah, Hercules is real.
They've
cool.
got
Yes, that's
great
hard.
great music throughout. Great,
Yes.
Can't
Hey,
go wrong there.
but the
Pocahontas,
Beauty and the
pretty
Beast
good.
be going nuts though.
Beauty and
I ain't
the
even gonna
Beast.
hold
You
you
know
up,
what?
bro. I ain't even gonna
You
hold
know
you up,
what?
bro.
I mean, I'm gonna go Aladdin with a close second of Beauty and the Beast.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
They be
Yeah.
spitting on Beauty and the
For
Beast.
real.
I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, be our guest. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
for
Like,
real.
I have to refresh myself on Beauty and the Beast. I don't know enough about their music. I've seen
the
it.
remake.
I haven't seen the remake.
Oh,
Was the-
you ain't seen the real live.
no,
version,
we're talking
bro.
the live action one,
pretty
right?
good.
Yeah, the
man.
live action.
Is it-
I took my fiance to go see that, yo, and you know what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
so good.
Was
that
it good?
They had her happy after. So.
The only part of the movie I didn't like was the very end when they popped back into real people. That looked a little cheeseball.
Wait,
But I
what you
mean,
talking about?
At the very end of Beauty
In the
and the
live
Beast.
action one or in the
In the
cartoon
live
one?
action one, when all like the candlestick and everybody they were popping back into people.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
It's like they didn't even try with the animation. They just went like and like they were people again.
Yeah,
I
that's
do-
Like, they
hilarious.
didn't like.
I
But
do
that's
think
some kid shit, though.
Yeah,
you know?
no, I know.
I do think it's
know.
weird
I'm just
that
being a
they're-
shitty adult. Like,
Like, I
oh,
wanted
you
to
couldn't
just-
have spent 10 more grand
Right.
on
This is
CGI.
because this is really for me because I'm you know like we're at
Exactly.
that age where we
Right.
remember
It
what
was when they
Yeah,
it was when they
it's
turned
like-
into humans. Right? This isn't believable.
Yeah.
I can't. I'm out of it.
Yeah,
I'm out of it.
I'm sorry. You had the candlestick
Suspension-
talking. I was into
Yeah.
it.
Suspension
Yeah.
of disbelief is
but-
over.
Yeah,
It is a
right.
crazy
You walk out of the movie before it's done.
Right.
I can't
But-
do this right now.
Yeah, but
It's
that
not
was
happening
that
for
was
me.
one of the really good live action ones. You
100%.
feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know?
I will say
Yeah.
that reminds me a little bit of Superman when it came out. Superman Returns, the 2007, 2006
Yeah.
year, I think when it came out.
Yeah.
I had a buddy
Where
who,
Spacey was Luther.
yeah,
Okay.
I had a buddy who saw it in theaters, and he was like telling me afterwards. He's like, "We're sitting there, and there's a scene where like he's like I think he like Superman like stops stops like a car that's out of control, like picks up and like catches it and like lands it, and then at one point like he's stopping a bank robbery and they're shooting him, and and they have like literally a machine gun turret just at his chest. And he's just walking right up to it, nothing.
Yeah.
And then they pull out a pistol and they shoot him in the eye and they zoom in and the bullet just gets crushed. And then at that point, he said, someone stood up in the theater when the bullet got crushed in his eye and was like, nope, that's enough. That's enough for me.
Yeah.
I'm out. And then left.
Yeah, like he was all about it as the turrets were hitting the
Yeah.
chest, and then it hit the eye, and he was like, "Fuck this."
Nope.
I'm done.
That should have got him.
Hey, do we? I'm swearing a lot. Is that okay?
That's a.
I don't know. Like all of a sudden, he's like, "This is for kids."
Yeah,
Like,
this was-
we're trying to inspire a younger generation.
This is rated
Right.
G,
Yeah.
so this is gonna cause a lot of problems.
Don't smoke crack, kids.
We're gonna-
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, right.
But I wanted to ask you too, like, so before we get off of here,
Yeah.
I want to know what's your 1 month goal, your 1 year goal, and then your 3 year goal.
1 month goal.
Yes, your 1 month goal from right now. Where you
Try to
be?
get back into shape that I was in a month ago
Okay.
before I started playing 5 gigs a week at the bar and eating greasy chicken and burgers all month. So that's my 1 month goal.
Okay.
Try not yet. So I'm just gonna do a little bit of sober time again, and then I do like high intensity cardio and stuff like that. People always go like, "How do you?" My brother and I are about the same age. He's 30. He'll be 31 in December, and then I'm 32. People are always like, "How do you look so much younger?" It's not, people are like, genetics. Like, that's possibly a little true. But, dude, the biggest thing is when you get older, you start to grow outward. People, they see, like,
Yeah.
thinner and kind of, like, tighter skin as more youthful. I have a theory that high-intensity cardio activates your mitochondria, and it makes your body go. Remember when you were a kid and you're on the playground? And you just ran until you couldn't anymore, and you're can't do it. I'm like,
Yeah.
well, that's because you had the energy, and that your body was made to do that, to exert that kind of energy. So I have this whole, like, if you keep your body going,
Yeah.
it's like it's like the moment you go idle, the
Well, it's
moment your
like
body
athletes a
starts to
little
go,
bit.
okay, we are aging,
Right,
we're
yes.
getting tired. We don't need that muscle
Yeah.
mass. We can go
Yeah.
idle now. We're settling down. I'm not ready to let this body settle down.
Yeah.
So I'm doing 2-a-days with Insanity right now, and I mean,
Well, it's like the
vitamins,
astronauts
go.
in space. If they're not, because they don't got the gravity, they lose muscle mass and bone mass.
Right.
From being idle and from
Physical
not working.
exercise is so important. I want the whole world. I wish I could just portray this to the whole world. Physical exercise is so important.
Yeah, bro.
Because you have to.
This is
For
this
mental-
right here, for all y'all need to know, this is the only thing keeping you here. You gotta
You'll
take
change
care
the
of
oil
it.
in your car. You'll go
Yes.
get your car
I don't
washed.
change the oil in my car.
Well, you know what I mean.
I don't either.
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Good people change the oil in their car. If Brennan could afford it, he would change the oil in his car. No,
When I can do it.
Yeah, like
When the money's there, the oil change.
right.
it makes
That's
it
good.
to where it needs to go.
Dude, hey, don't feel bad. I just started changing the oil in my car. Okay.
For real?
No, I'm just kidding. Like,
So
the point of the
what-
matter is like things haven't been going good for me
So
the whole time.
what-
Don't feel
I
bad.
just keep breaking them.
Yeah.
I've been going on flat tires for 2 years now.
Yeah, there's smoke coming out of the hood.
One.
Right.
So what's your 1 year goal then?
1 year goal.
Let's kill
is
this Broadway show.
knock out the Broadway show, release under a new agency and production company some of the best work of my life. I put everything into this latest album, and I felt good about some of the stuff we did before all this music with you guys.
Yeah.
And again, I think I told you earlier, I've been doing these long bouts of sobriety. Well, the clarity
Yeah.
of mind that I get and drive that I have towards the stuff that I'm working on now, I've never had in my entire life.
That's awesome.
And so just there's no manual on how to succeed in our industry.
No.
And you never know if a song is going to hit or not, but there are the small steps and things that you can prepare for so that when it's time to crunch, you crunch.
Yeah.
And so that's my goal over the next year. And also, we're going to be doing some touring with the cover trio and the original stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
With this production company, all depending on when COVID
Yeah.
allows everything to open back up, or politics. We'll see
Yeah.
how that goes.
Okay.
But
Where can people listen to your music right now?
right now, I have 2 different Spotify accounts. Can I just look into the camera?
Yeah, go for it.
I have 2. Sorry, that's during, as a musician, I have an alarm set for 5 p.m. during the day or 4:30 p.m. during the day, because that's when you got to wake up for the gig. So 2 Spotify accounts, or any really digital distributor. You can find me on iTunes. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on Apple Music, Amazon Music. Justin Alexander, just how you would spell it, Justin Alexander. And then Justin Alexandor with an O-R instead of an E-R. So they have different songs on them too. And I highly encourage you to check out both accounts, because I feel like the recording quality is there for a lot of it. And just to stay, don't sleep on me.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah.
And what's that 3 year goal?
Just big booty bitches.
Naturally.
Gold chains.
You're so serious, though. That's what's so
Phase 2 is the big booty
Phase
bitches.
2 is big booty bitches. Private plane. Got to get
Right.
your own private plane. Who the fuck are you without a private plane?
Exactly.
You need a
It's-
private plane.
And no, you know what? If any level of success happens over the next year or two, the first thing I want to do is help out some of the other local musicians and artists and people that have helped me along the way.
Y'all heard him? Y'all. So if something happens,
Yeah.
y'all all had this on camera. This is what he said, right?
Yeah.
Yup.
So
he means it.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for stopping by, Justin. This was great. I think this was a great interview.
Thanks,
A
dude.
lot of fun. We'd like to have you on again, of course.
Yeah.
When you got the new music coming out.
Dude, I'm down. Yeah. So honestly, like 2 months, 3 months, maybe.
Definitely. We'll do this
Maybe,
again.
or I mean, whenever.
We'll definitely get
I
set
like
up
to
another
talk,
one.
so.
All right. You're always welcome.
This is the most I've talked, like just like in a conversation in a while. Because most conversations aren't this good,
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean? Because it's
I
all
feel
about
ya.
me, and that's what I'm just kidding.
There's something about this
I
one
am
that just
down.
made me.
Yeah, I'm just. If you guys want to get together and talk about me,
I feel
Anytime.
like this was the worst conversation I was ever part of.
next time I'm in that seat, you're in this seat. I'm asking you questions
Hey,
next time, homeboy.
you can have the seat, but it's gonna cost you at least $10. and a dinner probably or something. You know. What
Okay.
I'm saying?
A
Yeah.
dinner. It's an expensive seat. It's an expensive.
So wait a
seat.
second. You're gonna give me a rider before I
That's
come
what
in
I'm,
here? No?
that's just for the particular chair. That doesn't mean you're going to be on the podcast in this position.
Oh, right.
It's a
There's
nice
just there's just
chair.
like a blurry scene kid in the middle. Like, why can't
Yeah.
you see him? Nah.
That costs
We
extra.
got him blurred out through the whole what's the
That's what I'm
name.
saying.
He didn't make the necessary the necessary
Donation.
payments. Yeah, donations. Yes, yep. That's how they put it.
Yeah.
Right on. Cool.
Yeah.
Are we done?
Yep.
Cool.
That was Booth
Later,
Talk.
guys.
I'm Brennan. See you next time.
And I'm
Later.
Uno.